you beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I hope we're all keeping nice and well and warm. It is very cold. We are in December and temperatures right now in the UK, it's freezing under the minus temperatures. So I hope we're all keeping well. You know, it is Christmas. Christmas is just around the corner, and Merry Christmas to every single one of you. So it is usually a very exciting season for most people, very merry. You know, there's Christmas carols being sung everywhere. I love them. I think that's the most exciting thing for me about Christmas, the Christmas carols. You know, it just puts you in a place. You know, it reminds me of when I was a baby, when I was young. So we have lots of Christmas decorations around the place, lots of Christmas lights, Christmas tree, Christmas presents for everyone, especially the children. Very excited about it. But you see, as exciting as it is, it can be very stressful for most people, especially those living with a long-term illness, and sickle cell disease is one of them. So in this video, I just wanted to give you some tips on staying well over the Christmas holiday, so you can make the most of it and, you know, spend a lovely time with your friends and loved ones. So the number one tip I want to talk about keeping well over the Christmas holidays was to be mindful. I mean, it is very important that, you know, as much as we go around being merry and, you know, having a good time over Christmas, you have to look after your mental health, your mental well-being. You see, with most people living with sickle cell disease, especially the young ones, they find it very difficult to talk about their challenges, to talk about living with sickle cell disease. For one reason or the other, there's so many reasons why people don't feel comfortable talking about what they go through with sickle cell and other long-term illnesses. And I have found that this is especially so for young people. You see, growing up with sickle cell, there was all this perception, and there still is, about, you know, people living with sickle cell disease. So I find that a lot of people find it difficult or not comfortable talking about living with the condition. And as a result of that, you might find that during the festive period, when everyone is so happy and jolly, you know, a lot of people with long-term illnesses and sickle cell especially are very lonely. They find it hard to, you know, integrate with others and celebrate, because they might be going through one or two challenges and they don't feel comfortable talking about it. And as a result of that as well, it might, you know, really affect you mentally. So my advice is that as much as it is challenging, it is very important that you open up and talk to people about your challenges. And also, a lot of warriors, sickle cell warriors, are only comfortable talking about their condition with their fellow warriors because they understand. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of people understand your challenge, understand the challenges that you go through with sickle cell and all the other long-term illnesses, you know, because they might feel sorry for you, and there's nothing wrong with feeling sorry for you because they understand. This is from my experience. You know, they understand what you go through, especially your close friends and families, you know. So make sure you're comfortable, you talk about, you know, what you're going through during the festive period, so that, you know, you're not left out, because being left out, you might feel lonely, and as a result of that, you might be inviting anxiety and depression, which is not what we want. So please be mindful and speak to people if you have to. So the next tip I wanted to talk about staying well over Christmas is make sure you reduce your stress levels. You see, Christmas is a very exciting time, and oh my goodness, it can be very stressful because there's lots of things to plan. There's loads of presents to buy for everyone if you have to buy presents for people. So my advice is that if you have to do Christmas shopping, plan way ahead of time. You know the people that you're going to be buying presents for, so make a list so you can plan and take your time to go shopping for the presents or the things that you have to buy for Christmas. And if you don't have to go out, you know, You can shop online. There's loads of things available online these days, especially as the temperatures are so, so low. I mean, in some places it's -10 at the moment, and the last thing you want is to be going out in the cold, which doing shopping and carrying loads of bags. So if you plan well ahead of time, you can do the shopping online. You can take your time and visit the shops so that you don't have to rush things and raising your stress levels. So my advice is plan well ahead of time. So also, if you have to host family and friends for Christmas, make sure you delegate stuff. So if you have to cook, make a list of the things that you're going to be cooking for Christmas Day, for instance, and delegate stuff to other people. You find that the more you share, the less stressful it is, instead of you trying to do everything by yourself. So you can sit and enjoy the Christmas season with everyone, the Christmas Day with everyone. So make sure you delegate stuff. Don't try and do everything by yourself. Reduce your stress levels. So my next tip is to make sure you take your meds, take your medication. I know it is Christmas, it is very busy. It can be very tempting to just get up and go because it's exciting, and before you know it, it's evening time and you haven't taken your medication throughout the day. So as busy as it is, maybe what you can do is to set a reminder on your phone, or have these boxes where you put your medication in there and put it somewhere that you see it first thing in the morning that you wake up, or have in your bag or something like that. For those who are on regular medication, please do not forget to take your medication. So have it with you all the time, so that even if you're busy, you have it somewhere. When you remember, you can take it. Okay, stay well over the Christmas and take your medication. Another tip I wanted to give you to keeping well over the Christmas holiday is to find time for yourself to relax. Yes, it is Christmas, it is busy, everyone is busy, but you don't want to get too busy and then you crash, and then you're not able to have a lovely Christmas with your family. So as busy as it is, make sure you find time for yourself, to pamper yourself, to give yourself some treatment. It could be either just sitting and doing nothing, reading a book or watching a film, or just lying down. Give yourself maybe a couple of minutes or a couple of hours a day, just to relax and reflect. Just have some time for yourself, have a break. It is Christmas, and we want to keep well, because you might get too busy and forget to rest, and before you know it, you've crashed. So the last thing we want is falling ill over the Christmas holidays. So please do find time to give yourself some pampering and some relaxation. Very important. My next tip I wanted to give you was to please make sure that you take your flu vaccine. It is the cold season, it is the cold weather, and it is very common for people like myself, people with long-term illnesses, people with sickle cell disease, to catch things like cold, and as a result of that, it might lead into a crisis. So in order to avoid getting a cold and leading into a crisis, it is advisable to take your flu vaccine. So you just need to call your GP, book an appointment. Some of the pharmacists around can give you a flu vaccine. So make sure you take your flu vaccine and stay on top of your vaccinations, like pneumococcal flu vaccine, COVID vaccine, very important, because it is cold. The COVID numbers have started going up again, because of the season. So please do not forget to take your vaccine if you want to stay well over the Christmas. So my next tip on staying well over the Christmas holidays is something that we don't usually do a lot because of the weather. Keep up with your exercise routine. I know it can be difficult because most people do prefer to exercise when it's warm, nice and warm, and with the weather being so cold, you just want to snuggle up and stay indoors. And because of the cold weather as well, we find that we're sitting down a lot, we're not doing a lot of moving around, and that can cause some joint stiffness. And also because of work from home, a lot of people are having to sit for a very long time, and this is not very good for our health. So my advice is that even if you don't have to go out for exercise, what I tend to do is to do my exercise indoors. You could put YouTube, there's lots of exercises that you can do indoors, and just flex your muscles, even if it means walking around. I know it's cold, it is snowing this week, so maybe dress warm if you have to go outside, that is. Just take a walk around your neighborhood, just at least gives you the opportunity to do some exercise, or do it indoors. What I do it indoors, so at least sitting for very long is very bad. So find some time to flex your muscles, to move around, to do some exercise, because it is very bad for our health sitting around and not doing any form of exercise. So stay well this Christmas holiday by moving around a bit, keeping up with the exercise routine, and yeah. So my next tip on staying well over the Christmas holidays is to make sure you play games with your friends and families. So my advice is that it is exciting, it is an exciting season, so why not indulge in some games with your friends and your loved ones. You can get some games online, you can get some card games or board games. Just get your loved ones together and just play and learn something new. You might not know how to play a game, but just the fact that you're sitting together and trying to play something with your friends and family might help with isolation, with depression, and with anxiety. So I will advise you that over the Christmas holidays, try and get together with your friends and families and play some games. So it might improve your mood if you're feeling a bit low and not feeling as to interact with anyone. You might be surprised. That alone might just lift your mood. And my final tip on staying well over the Christmas is to make sure you seek help. Seek medical help if you need to. If you find that over the Christmas holiday you are feeling a bit unwell, you need to speak to somebody, there's always help available. And if you think that you are struggling, there's lots of charities around to help you. Please do not suffer alone. Pick up the phone and call someone. Get on the internet. Look for charities around the area where you live. There are lots of charities over the Christmas holidays willing to help people, especially those that are struggling with heating their homes, because I know the temperatures are very, very low at the moment, and those with sickle cell disease and other long-term illnesses cannot afford to turn off their heating. So most people find that they are using their heating most of the day, and as a result of that, they're having to forgo things like food and essential food for the kids, for yourself and your families. Please do not suffer alone. There is help available. If you are based in Warsaw, there's lots of charities available to help you. One of them is Plasma of Hope, www.plasmaofhope.org. Get on the website, check your local charities, check your local councils. There is help available for every single person. Please do not suffer alone. I hope that everyone will stay well this Christmas, and as we get into the new year, we will be well and ready to take on the new year. I wish you all a very happy Christmas and a happy new year. Please keep yourself well, keep your loved ones well, and enjoy your Christmas.